Hi everyone, The Lone Wolf here and welcome back to the Sunday Recap, my weekly vlog where I talk a little bit about my last week in games. As always, we'll start with some EVE Online, and it has been a little bit less than average when it comes to the gameplay of EVE Online. It's pretty busy at my work at the moment, and so I didn't have time to do any big exploration runs or anything like that. So I just did a couple of them, nothing too major and no loot that has dropped for me last week. I did do a pretty big run of my loot that I'd been gathering there, and now I'm selling that and importing fuel, mostly for my own structure fueling, but the local prices are way up compared to JITA prices, so perhaps I'll look into like a weekly or maybe even a bi-weekly run to JITA in order to unload my blueprint copies, because I think I'm going to make more structure related blueprint copies as well, considering the new structures that are on the horizon. If they require the same components as all structures from Upwell, then that might actually be a resource that will be in high demand and thus great prices and good ISK. And yeah, fuel, bringing that back from JITA back to the Detail area seems to be something that might make us some ISK as well. And since I do those trips anyways, I might just do that a little bit more often and try to eke more efficiency out of that activity. Another thing, of course, PI, that is something that I'm doing every single day. At the moment it's going really well because I mostly produce coolants and mechanical parts. Those are related to fuels, and if you watch EVE Talk you know that they are actually at pretty high prices at the moment. And then we also have moon mining, none of that last week because I am on a 2-week schedule, but if anyone is curious, it's every 2 weeks on Thursday. It's coming next week as well, and the rock is set to blow up at around 1500 EVE time. And other than that, that's been my week in EVE Online. Of course, we do have EVE Vegas, but I have a little bit of catching up to do there. I did manage to grab some of day 1 live, and then yesterday I watched the EVE Online keynote. Some interesting information there, although I was expecting some more new information to come up. Basically, it's a lot of the stuff that we already knew, but other than that, well, we'll see how everything evolves, and I still have to digest all of the talks themselves and even watch most of the talks from EVE Vegas. So give me a little bit more time before actually commenting on what's happening at EVE Vegas and what's coming in the near future for EVE Online. Next up we have a bit of World of Warcraft. I feel like that's going really well, although my one activity is basically Battlegrounds. Try to get that conquest point cap up and running, and at the moment it's actually going really well because on Friday the guild is organizing rated battlegrounds, and those give you a lot of conquest points. I think it's like 100 for the first victory and then 65 for every other victory. So you know, do that for one evening and it's pretty easy to get like 200 conquest points. So usually in the last 2 weeks, in fact, I have capped out on the conquest points in the first 3 days. So Wednesday do a normal battleground, an epic one, and then do a quick 2 versus 2 or 3 versus 3, what are they called, skirmish I think. Do the same thing on Thursday, and then on Friday RBGs plus some extra, and there you go, I am capped out. That does mean that basically I'm still playing a decent amount of World of Warcraft, but it is condensed to those 3 days after the weekly reset. Doing some RBGs also means that I get that extra loot from the PvP chest, and really that's pretty cool. I enjoy the battlegrounds. I think those are fun. They're not as stressful as arenas for me, and you know, it's like 15 minutes or something like that on average for a BG. You need a bit of wait time before that, of course, when you're in a queue, except for the RBGs. Those are like every minute you can just keep going, but for the normal battlegrounds, yeah, I need like 15 minutes or something like that in the queue in order to get them. But that's perfect for me as well because I love the world quests, so I just do my emissary, and by the time that those are finished, I'm usually at least in one RBG and I'm done with the skirmishes. Then it's just the epic one left, and that way I can keep up with a little bit of World of Warcraft grinding, try to get some PvP gear going, and have fun playing the game with what I'm enjoying most, which is the battlegrounds. Definitely fun. I feel like I'm getting better at those as well. and at the moment it is a lot of fun to just try and stack my mastery so that my Curse of Agony becomes like really powerful. That's my Azerite trait that I'm choosing. It's my priority over anything else, you know, even gear score and things like that. And it now does like close to 27,000 damage on a single global cooldown. I mean, it is dispellable and it does take a while to ramp up, but it feels really powerful. And yeah, as an Affliction Warlock, I can get up there in the damage category when it comes to the battleground. So yeah, good fun for me in the World of Warcraft, although it is very specifically for the battlegrounds at the moment. The plans are to try and keep that up, but I'm not sure how well I will succeed, because there is of course lots of stuff coming on the horizon, including the Nova Alpha. I'm hoping to get into that. Hopefully it works out. We also have Fallout 76, we have X4, and potentially some other stuff as well that I might look into if I find the time. And so then first thing that would go is probably that World of Warcraft grind. Not sure exactly what I would do then. When it comes to World of Warcraft, I'm definitely planning to keep playing it at least a little bit, maybe just do the emissaries or something like that and be happy with that so that I can get everything on Exalted. But it's a different balance act. I think it was a video from Jim Sterling that I watched pretty recently, where he does mention that, well, gaming these days, it's all online, it's all meant to keep you playing, There's only that many hours in a single day for most people, especially people like myself that have to go to work 5 days a week, and as a result I have to choose what I want to play and what I want to cover. And yeah, I think that the first one that will probably diminish would actually be the World of Warcraft. And then for my final day, well, I was in need of some relaxing, and so what better game than Banished in order to try and do that. So I started a new town in Banished. I think that this one has potential. It took a couple of tries to get a decent layout and to actually get the food problems out of the way early on. And this one, it's again the pattern, but I'm going for a super industrialized city. I'm gonna try and push that pattern to its very limit and maintain it throughout the entire map as much as possible. So I think it's going to be pretty interesting, and that also means that my forestries will not be optimal. Those will be within the pattern, so a 9x9, basically a 3x3, 9 blocks will then become the forestry area for one right at the center. Have a little bit of food production and other stuff around that, but I'm really going to try and push that pattern to its very limit this time. And it's such a relaxing game. I do absolutely love Banished when I have a little bit lower energy and I'm not sure what to do with like the final hour or so of the day. That's when I fire that baby up, and yeah, I'm starting a new town. I'm not sure how long it is gonna take for me to fully develop it. That all depends on my schedule, of course, but a new one is in progress, and it is looking like, if I'm looking to relax, I'll be playing some more Banished in the upcoming weeks rather than stuff like Overwatch or Diablo and things like that. So a bit of a switch there, but yeah, one of the greatest relaxing games that I have in my Steam library. And that's it for this week, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you all next time.